Hello and welcome to Yarn Happy. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new, my name is Vanessa and yarn makes me happy. If it does the same for you, then stick around because I think you'll like it here. So I have a lot to show you this week. Some stuff I worked on and quite a bit that I bought. There was a couple of sales that I just couldn't resist. And especially with the new sock project going on, I just had to stock up on some new sock yarn. So I'll show you that a little bit later, but first I'll show you the progress that I've made on the fruits blanket, which isn't as much as I had hoped, but I've been working on like the sock thing and just kind of like doing some other projects. So, you know, still made progress. I did finish the orange and it came out really nicely. The only negative on this one is that I did end up dropping a couple of stitches along the way, so the end is a little bit narrower than, like, this is kind of wide compared to the other end, but you can't really tell. I mean, if you put them up next to each other you can tell, but this is gonna stretch out, you know, a little bit, and it's also going to be bordered, so I'm not too worried about it. But the colors are looking really good together. As you can see, I like how this is coming together. I'm really excited to see it all finished. I did start on the next color, which is the kiwi, which I'm doing in, and my nail, I have the dip powder on my nail and this one broke, so hopefully it doesn't freak you out. It looks like my nail is broken, but it's just the overlay. So don't mind that. I need to get my nails done tomorrow. But anyway, I'm doing the Tunisian pearl stitch on this one, and I like this one a lot. I kind of wanted to test this one out next. And if you hear, of course, sounds, that's Panther. He's ripping something up right now. But I wanted to test this stitch out because I think this would be a good one for the Tunisian socks, like for the base of the foot and like the heel and all of that, because it's pretty uniform and tight on both sides. The thing that it's thin, doesn't curl up either. Look at that. It's very like flat and drapey, so I think this will be really good. And on the yellow, on the banana one, this is pearl. This is a combination of pearl and a crossed simple stitch, and this did not use up near as much yarn as all of the other ones, so I think that this just goes a lot farther, so you'll get more, be able to make a bigger sock with, you know, less yarn. It's not going to like eat up your entire skein of yarn. So I think this is a good candidate for testing for the socks. But anyway, that's what I'm doing for the kiwi, and I think it's coming out nicely, shows off the pattern nicely, and like I said, I like that it's sort of uniform on both sides. Like, it doesn't look like, it looks different, but it doesn't look totally different. So I like how that's coming along. And just, of course, little reminder of the last two colors that I have yet to do is blueberry and plum. And just in case you don't remember, and it's not obvious, lime, pink grapefruit, watermelon, grape, strawberry, banana, and orange. So that is the fruits blanket. Next, I'm going to show you a sock that I made this week. This one right here. I haven't been weaving in the ends because these are all just tests. So don't mind that. But this is a sock that I made this week. I just freehanded this one. I based it, the construction, on the pattern that I used last week, but I did it a little differently. So I'm gonna put a picture up of me wearing one sock on each foot of the ones I made, and you kind of see the toe box is a little more square, more roomy on the one that I made this week. And I did make it just a tad bigger. I knew I was making it a little small last week because I wanted to see just how much, you know, it would stretch out. So that one is a little bit small. But the thing is, they are actually the same size. Like, even though this one is tighter, like looks like it's even a little bit longer, even a tiny bit. So I don't know, like this is a smaller hook and a little tighter stitch that I stretched out with blocking. But this one fits way better though. I did the extended single crochet on the toe, and as you can see, when you lay it flat like this, it's more square, whereas this one is very narrow and rounded. And something that they were doing along the whole base of the sock was increases, kind of like increasing along here, and I messed up the increases a little bit, so like you could see like right here it kind of bows out a little bit because I had to add some increases there because it was like too narrow, and I wasn't increasing enough, and it would have been a very skinny sock if I hadn't done that. So they did increases all the way up, but I didn't do that. Since I have it wider at the toe, I just made it the width I want it to be, and I just went all the way up like a tube, because I know with like knitting machines you can just make a solid tube and then just like sew up the ends and put like a little afterthought heel and make a sock that way. So I was like, well, I'll try and do something similar to that, where I just make a tube, and then I followed, like I said, the construction design for going up the heel and doing all that. But I did make the heel a little bit bigger on this one. I probably will try to move that afterthought heel back a little bit so that it doesn't come all the way up to the ankle like it does now. But that was just something that I kind of figured out along the way. So I really like this one. It fits really well. Like, it's easy to get on, not tight at all. Like, this goes right over my foot, and it feels like not too snug, but it feels like it fits. If I made it a taller sock, I think that it would be just fine. So happy with that. There's still obviously tweaks that I want to make, but for a kind of first shot at just going for it and making something, Panther's rolling around right next to the table, so another Panzerquake. For a first shot at just kind of making it, I'm happy with that. Making progress. So I did decide to follow another pattern that I found. It is by, I believe her name is Joanne Grace or something like that. There's a pair of socks that are the same pattern but different weights, called Saunders and Riley, or Riley and Saunders, and the Riley is the fingering weight one. So I started that just to see. It's a cuff down, and you do the heel like while you're doing the sock. It's not an afterthought heel, so I kind of wanted to follow the pattern to see how that was done so that I can kind of adjust how I'm doing mine and see if maybe I can figure out how to do the heel at the same time, or see if I like it better. So far, not liking it better, but I had trouble following the pattern. I don't know, it's one of those things where I don't know what they're trying to tell me to do. So once I got to the heel, it's just not, and this is really dark, so you probably can't see it that well, but it's just like not really, I mean, when I put it on, it looks like a normal sock. It's too big though, way too big, and I don't know how they wanted me to do the decrease on the heel to like make it kind of come together and start curving for the foot. So I'm not going to continue on this, just because I sort of got what I wanted out of it for now. And I know that I don't even have enough left to make a whole sock. So what I do really like is I really like this. I think this is the Herringbone Stitch. And I'll show a picture of like what the actual sock looks like in the pattern. It looks really nice. And I thought at first the stitch looked like it might be thick, you know, the kind of ribbed look to it and all that. I thought that might be kind of a thick sock, but it seemed to have pretty good reviews and a popular sock. So I was like, well, I'll try it. And I really like this fabric. So I'm thinking about trying to use this stitch pattern on the next one that I do, because it's very solid and it's not that thick. Like, it's very thin and flexible and very stretchy. So yeah, I did get something out of this. So far I still like the toe up and afterthought heel, but I'll see if I can a little tiff between brothers there. I'll see if I can look through the patterns or the finished projects on Ravelry that people have done and see if maybe somebody explains how they got through the pattern. And I'll ask around in the Discord too if I need some help, because I just am not getting it. I don't know what they want me to do. You know, sometimes that I feel like, you know, they know what they're trying to tell you because they did it, they made it, but they're not coming from it from like a having no idea how to do it point of view. And so when I read it, I'm just kind of like, I don't know what you want from me. So that was a okay experiment. I did get something out of it, so that's good. So the next thing, I did work on the Peacock Blanket a little bit, just in the last like day or so. I was too busy with the socks to work on this, but I've made a decision on this. I was really hoping to focus on this a lot more, but the sock thing kind of took over my mind. And you know, whenever I get excited about a project or inspiration for a project, I'd rather go for that and enjoy that rather than put it off just because I want to get something else done, because you know, it's a hobby. So I want to do what I am in the mood to do and enjoy, and not make it into any of my projects into a slog. So I did want to work on this a little bit, and then as I was working on it, I decided that I'm going to not worry about this blanket too terribly much, about getting it done like quickly. I was hoping to be able to enter it into the state fair, because I started this like before summer. So I figured I'd be able to get it done and then enter it into the fair, but it's definitely turned into a way bigger project, and I know I'm not going to be able to get it done by then. So now it's just going to be a whenever I feel like it kind of project, and I'm hoping to get it done by the end of the year maybe, because it really is a time eater, a yarn eater. I love it, but so I did put like 3 rows on it. I don't know where my stitch marker is for where I started. Oh yeah, here it is. So I put 3 rows on it. That's where I was last time. So it's not noticeably, well, that's the back side. Here's the front. Not terribly different. You guys have seen it before, but try and show you kind of the whole thing I've got so far. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I really love working on it. It's just, it's huge. So I'm gonna have to be realistic about what I can get done on this. And I'd rather, like I said, enjoy myself than force myself to do it and like put everything else on the back burner. I do think I can get the fruits blanket done within the next couple of weeks, so I'm gonna focus on that. He's playing with the doorstop. I hope that's not too loud. So we'll see. But about the fair, so the drop-off date for the fair is in a couple of weeks. And so I decided what I'm going to enter is the parasol and the Oakley blanket, which I'm going to put a picture up of that I made earlier this year. And I'm really, really happy with how that one came out. I made it with wool of the Andes, and I picked all the colors for it from a swatch of fabric I had that I just really liked the color scheme for. So I used that as inspiration to pick my colors for this blanket. And so that was a really fun project to work on, and I think that that will be a good one to enter in lieu of the Peacock Blanket. And then the Peacock Blanket can probably be for next year. So that takes a lot of the pressure off my mind that I was putting on myself for trying to get that done. So now that I've gone through all my works in progress, I'm going to show you what I bought. So you can kind of see it off to the side here, some of these colors. This is all from Love Crafts, this first order. And I actually still have another order coming in the mail that'll be here this week. So, Panzer, stop it. Come here. Do something else. Okay. So let's get into just looking at pretty yarn. So this first one, these are all these ones I'm going to show you right now are all sock yarn, so fingering weight. This is West Yorkshire Spinners. I think I said that right. I don't know. But this is the signature 4-ply, and the colorway is Wildflower. And I love it. So pretty. This one has 437 yards, so standard yardage there for fingering weight. And these are like good feeling. They're not like super soft and squishy. I mean, they are soft, but they feel like a wool, like a smooth wool, but they're not like the softest, squishiest wool that I felt. You know, they're not merino. So yeah, I like that, but I do kind of like that spongy, woolly feel, so I personally really like it. Another West Yorkshire Spinners. The color is Rum Paradise. So let's put these up next to each other. Maybe compare the kind of more pastel rainbow, and then this is like a brighter rainbow. I couldn't pass this one up. I mean, you see rainbow stripes and it's just like, gotta have it. All right, next one. Now these ones, oh, I got one more West Yorkshire. This one, this had kind of, I believe they had a picture of these ones worked up, and they had kind of that Fair Isle look to them. Kind of like how the fruits works up, you know. And this one is called Wood Pigeon, which is kind of a funny name, but those are definitely colors that I really gravitate towards, kind of those dull grays. I really like gray, and like that mauve-y color. I do really like that too. So this one will be really pretty. So those are all the West Yorkshire Spinners that I've got, and these next ones I was excited about because this is Regia 4-ply, and this one has more yardage. So those have 437 yards, and these ones have 459 per 100 grams. So I like that it's a little bit thinner, a little bit lighter, because for obviously crochet sock, they do come out a little bit thicker, heftier. So a lighter fingering is kind of what I'm looking for. So I got several of these. This color is, oh, it doesn't have the name on here. They had the color names on the, hold on a second. Okay, so I went to look for my packing slip for these so I could see the color names, but I think that I threw it away. So We don't have color names, which is unfortunate because they do have names, but they're not on here. Anyway, this is color 04768. Very descriptive, but very pretty. I really like those colors. Okay, next one. Like, I mean, I think this one was called Vintage, if I remember. Like, they had names like that. So this is the same weight, 459 yards, yep. So yeah. Next color, which I'm pretty sure was called Vintage. And then another one. Ooh, this one's really pretty. And this one looks like it has maybe a little sample of it worked up there, if I can get the light off of it. I don't know if it'll focus, but that'll be really cool. And this color is 09386. And we've got two more of these ones. Oh, this one's cool. So we'll show the way that works up there. Could pick a fun stitch for this to kind of break up the little blocks. It'd be kind of neat. So that one's really pretty. I like those darker muted colors. And last one is this one, and I've been forgetting to tell you the numbers, so any ones I forget, I'll put the number on the screen. Color number is, I believe, 01275. But look at that, that's kind of a cool effect. I'm excited about that one. So yeah, those are really cool. Now, I got some Malabrigo. These are also sock yarn. This is just their sock. And these are 440 yards per 100 grams, so more of like the standard, not a light fingering, just a normal fingering, which, I mean, still looks super nice and thin. This one is the color Archangel. And these are squishy soft. They're really, really nice. They are merino, which is why they feel like that. So yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. Love that one. So pretty. And these two I got because I thought they might look good together, because this one has like some nice touches of like brighter green in it, just a little bit. I don't know if I will actually use them together now that I see them in person, but they might still, like if this was like the heel, you know, or something, because I think once you get in there, there's a little bit more green, but it's definitely a more blue green than this. This is, I mean, this color is called lettuce, so it's a very yellowy green, but beautiful color. Love that. For sure I will be able to find a use for these. I've got plenty of other like minis and stuff, because I do have the next subscription to show you as well. Lots of colors to work with, so if any of these that I buy don't end up going together like I think they will from looking on the computer, no worries, I'm sure I can still use them. This one is Arco Iris. So pretty. Alright, so let's get these. I'm kind of making a mess over here. There we go. I think they're all still contained. I brought my cart in here to help me contain everything today. So the last thing from the Love Crafts order is something I've been wanting to get one of these for a long time. It's the Shapey's Whirl Fine Art. I've had whirls before, and I love those. But this one, the fine art, has merino in it. It is 50% super fine merino, 25% microfiber and 25% acrylic. So really soft and squishy. And you know what? I didn't realize it until I saw it on the label that these pair with the Merino Soft, which I have used before and I really like it. And yep, it feels exactly the same. So that's kind of cool. I did have like a couple projects in mind for this one. So if I don't have something to pair with it that I don't already have, I know I can get some Merino Soft to pick a color to go with it. So yeah, love this one. Look at that. And this one, the color is called Cubism, color 654. So yeah, I love that one. Really excited about that. So the next squeaky time. So the next thing that I got was an order from Hirschner's that I was not expecting to make, but they had a one-day sale where they were having stuff $1, $2, and $3. And hold on one second, I'm gonna wait for the squeaking to stop. Okay, I'm back, and he's kind of lost interest in the squeaker. The good thing is that he has a pretty short attention span, so he gets onto something and in like 2 minutes he'll be done. So now he's interested in other things. But as I was saying, I happened to see that Hirschner's was having a $1, $2, and $3 sale. So they had certain yarns marked down to $1. And I was like thinking to myself when I clicked on it, I was like, well, it's probably gonna be like a bunch of worsted aid or something like that, which is like fine, great, but not really something that I will use. But they had these little gradient cakes of 100% merino, 50 grams for $1. I think it's like 147 yards. And so I was like, which makes it between like a sport and a DK, I would say, or probably around a sport weight, which is great because I love sport weight. But I got 4 colors and I bought 25 50-gram cakes because I mean they were $1, so like $25, nothing. So anyway, I'll show you all the colors I got, and look how cute they are. They're so tiny. So these are the Willow Yarns Dahlia, and as you can see, they're 147 yards per 50 grams, 100% merino. That sold me. I saw 100% merino for $1, and I was like, I'll take them all. So I got 5 of this color, which is Rosewood, which is an apt name, and they have very nice self-striping. Not really, I guess they're not really, I mean they are gradient colors, but they're not gradient blends. Like I think they'll be solid stripes, kind of like a miniature Caron cake, which I love miniature things, so I just love these even more, thinking of them as like a miniature Caron cake. So the next color is this really pretty blue called Aegean, or Aegean, I don't know where you would put the emphasis on that, but that is that color. I got 5 of these. And then I also got Medallion. Really pretty one. That one has a little bit more of kind of a gradient look to it. And I got 5 of those. And then I ended up getting 10 of this color. I picked this one because I wanted to kind of branch out on the colors, because normally I would pick 10 of like maybe the blue. That seems like a color I would buy 10 of. But I decided to go with this kind of avocado green, and the color is Grasslands. I decided to go with 10 of these because I thought, you know, maybe like a sweater or, you know, something like that with this would look really pretty, or a cardigan or something. So I don't know, that's a color I think would look good on a garment, but it's not something that you see and you're like, that color is like, you know, it doesn't grab me as much, but I think it's a good garment color. So I went with this one to get 10 of. So yeah, that is my Hershner's haul. And then the final thing I will show you is my Tippy Tree Yarns subscription for this month. So this is the second delivery I've gotten for these. This is the Color Story Desert. So look at those. Okay, I love this blue. And of course I love the speckle. This one's really pretty. I like all of these. These are really, really nice. I did pull out the one from last month just so we can kind of remember. This one was Alpine. So kind of compare and contrast here all that we got. So last month, this month. I mean, they're all gorgeous. So I'm really excited to get all of these and figure out something to do with them. And Panzer is very interested in them. He would love to get a hold of some of my yarn, but trust me, I'm very, very watchful of that. Well, I think that's all that I have for you this week. So I really appreciate you sitting through all of that. I know it got a little long today, but I had just a lot to go through and I've had a very busy week. So I hope I will make a lot of progress between now and next week. I'm excited about the socks particularly. I think that's been going better than I thought. And I did order... Of course, I ordered some more stuff. I did order some Tunisian crochet hooks that I can use specifically for the socks, some 6-inch double-ended hooks. I do have a set of interchangeable hooks, but they don't go, the smallest it goes is 3.75 millimeters, so I wanted some smaller ones. So I got some smaller double-ended hooks. Ones with a cord, fixed cords, and then ones that are just like a solid 6-inch hook to try and play with working in the round on Tunisian. So making some headway on getting to the Tunisian part of the socks, but I want to play around with getting a standard crochet sock and a Tunisian crochet sock, like a good solid pattern for both that, you know, is like adjustable. You can do different stitch designs and stuff, kind of similar to how the Marley Bird patterns are, where they have a basic design that you can change the pattern on the top to kind of, and around the ankle to give it a different look, which I think is how normal knit socks are done as well. So so yeah, I'm trying to figure out something for standard crochet and Tunisian crochet. But anyway, that's all I have for you guys this week. So if you did enjoy it, hit like and subscribe to the channel to see more that I have going on in the coming weeks. And I will just see you next week. Bye.